Hello, everybody. This is Claire Van Steenwyk coming to you live from his home in Sun City, West Arizona. I was asked if I would meet with a group of voters just yesterday on Sunday over in the Scottsdale area. These voters happen to be from all over Maricopa County, Cave Creek, Scottsdale, Phoenix, Glendale, and then ourselves from the farther West Valley. They wanted to have some information on candidates running for office. Because as we all know, I've said over the years that most voters don't have a whole lot of information that they can truly depend on to vote for people or on issues. And only by getting information by yourself, doing the research if you know where to go and how to look for it, or by those who do. And I would encourage all of you who don't know how to get this research to contact people that do know how to get the research so that all of us can be guaranteed an honest election or honest results. And yes, as you can see, I'm running for Maricopa County Recorder. I want to take the place of Mr. Fontes and fix the system that he has so efficiently, along with the cooperation of others in state and county government, messed up for all of us. Gene and I voted the other day at Surprise City Hall. We get early ballots, but I've gotten to the point now where I'm not trusting the mail-in ballots at all, along with President Trump, who doesn't trust them. I haven't trusted a lot of this for a long time because of the voter fraud that goes on in Arizona. I'm going to be doing a video in a couple of days on that issue and how we have systemic voter and election fraud within the state, and it's been authorized basically by our government and allowed to happen. So there's a new twist to how they're voting now, and we need to all be very careful about this. But setting that aside for temporarily, you need to understand that a lot of what you hear about candidates and people that especially hold office isn't always true. They'll tell you how they vote on things when they know you agree with them. They'll never disclose to you how they voted on things when you don't agree with them. And that lies the issue. We, a few years back, had in 2011, I guess it was, and in 2016 again, the national popular vote put forth. And then they put forth the red flag laws to restrict our gun ownership. And this was done by Ducey in 16 with the national popular vote and all the nonsense that they were doing. Not Ducey, he was doing the red flag laws. But a group of Republican legislators supported, put on the agenda, and voted through the national popular vote in the House, knowing that it would cost us our republic if this ever happened, and only the majority would elect the president. Now think about that. That means you'd have had Gore and you'd have had Clinton. Just think of what kind of a nightmare that would be right now. So this is how they do it. They don't tell you about these, and the average voter doesn't pay attention to this, and we all know that. You have activists who do, but even some activists have personality problems. They like certain people and don't like others, or they're party line people, and if you're really faithful to the party, they'll help you. But if you criticize the party in any way at all, they won't. I think a lot of people have witnessed this with President Trump. We all know that Mitch McConnell really doesn't like President Trump, and neither do a lot of other Republicans in D.C. and governors around the country. They just don't know what to do with him because they're really not quite sure if he can win a second term. I believe he can, but it's going to take all of us to make sure it happens. But the primary upcoming here in Arizona is very important because who we put in office here on the net for the election coming up, the general in November, is important to all of us. And remember, we have early voting going on right now, but you have early polling places. Like I know where I live in Sun City West, we have Surprise City Hall. There's a place over in Scottsdale. There's one, I think, in Chandler and down in Phoenix. I recommend to all of you who have early ballots that you go in there and vote. Just go and vote. If you have the ability to go to an early poll in the West Valley, go use it. Scottsdale, go use it. The Chandler area, I believe it is, Phoenix, go use them. Because those ballots are then filled out right there. They're handed to you right there. You fill it out, and you sold it, and you put it in a slot. No, the U.S. mail doesn't tamper with it. Nobody tampers with it because there's been some definite changes that are going on. Fontes has rigged as part of this by sending early ballots out to people that never requested them. You've got the federal form being used now to register voters with no proof of citizenship who are only allowed to vote on the federal elections, president, U.S. Senate, U.S. House. But knowledge is important to all of us. I know there are people, when I tell them, like I did yesterday, they ask me about certain candidates. And I happen to have information about these people, so I told them what I thought and who I was voting for and who I had already voted for. Now, some of this was different in their districts because I have a senator and legislator over here and a congressman that they don't have where they live. But I know enough about some of these people and some of the legislation they've passed are supported. And if you support something to put it up for a vote in the House or the Senate, to me, you're just as bad as the people that vote for it, because it's kind of like the guy that takes the bank robber to the bank, but doesn't go in with a gun. But without that car, he couldn't have got there. Without support of getting getting issues put on for votes, up for votes, they wouldn't be voted on. And some of these people are sold out to lobbyists. They won't vote for something, but they'll sure sponsor it. And then later on, if they get caught, they'll always apologize. You know, kind of like if Benedict Arnold apologized to George Washington. What do you think that would have got him? I don't think it would have got him much of anything, other than maybe hung instead of shot, but he would have been gone. And some of us need to start looking at this as, who's the best candidate and who can I trust to do what they say? Who do I really believe has the fortitude, the internal fortitude to be hated by other people that they're going to serve with and people in the party and leadership that I can vote for, put in that office and trust, even if they only get to stay one term, that won't do me any harm and will prevent from bad bills from being put up or even passed. That's what you have to start looking at. Not who you like the most. We have to start remembering this isn't like the homecoming game where you voted for the prom queen or the homecoming queen. This is real life. And these people make a difference in all of our lives through legislation they pass, some of which we never know about. Others they pass where our taxes go up, our sales tax goes up. They restrict what they do, like this China virus thing. They're now doing a lot of tracking. They're pushing this tracking where they can know where you are over in Europe. Holland, from my family descended from there, is now only allowing you to have one cell phone, and they can track that phone, and you have to leave it on at night so they know where you are. This sounds more like communist China than it does the United States of America. All of this stuff does. And we need to start being careful of who we put in office. So I implore all of you, go to your early polling places and vote. And they're going to open up a few more, a whole lot more in a week or so. And if they're near your house and you have the physical ability, go there and vote. Don't mail your ballots in. Go vote. You can't trust all of these people. And with some of the nuances that Fontes here in Maricopa County has now instituted, you can't trust the mail-in system at all. Not at all. These people are not here to help us. They have systematically ruined our voting system in this state with cooperation on both sides of the aisle. And we need to start facing that. So I implore all of you, get all the information you can. It's kind of like an informed buyer. When you really know what the price of cars are or what houses are going for, you have information. You have information that's valuable to you if you'll follow it. Now, you may not always like somebody. They may not be somebody you'd invite over for dinner. But then you're not inviting these people over for dinner. You're inviting them to and supporting them to and voting for them to protect your rights as United States citizens. It begins here in our cities, our counties, and our states. It ends in Washington, but it starts here. And you've got to start getting some realistic views of what people have actually done. No matter what you may think of them personally. Maybe there's someone you'd invite over for dinner or to a pool party or a barbecue, and maybe the other person isn't. But the key to this is, who do you trust? I know all of you have people in your families, I know we do in ours, who we trust implicitly, but we don't like a lot. But we know that person would never hurt us. If we ever needed help, they'd help us, even though we won't invite them over for Thanksgiving dinner. But if there's a need in the family, that's the guy or lady we call. I know that the people I met with yesterday thanked me for the information I gave them about different candidates and what their records were in the past, and how to be very careful when so many people are endorsing somebody, but all of the people that are endorsing this person are the elite in the Republican Party, former office holders or present office holders. Now, those endorsements are wonderful if the person's record's wonderful. But when you see someone being endorsed by, say, Jan Brewer raised our property, our sales tax. Then she gave us Common Core, and then she gave us expanded Obamacare. That's a conservative? I don't think so. And I have nothing against that lady, but she's not a conservative, a constitutional conservative. She may be what they call a conservative now, but she's not what a conservative truly is. So I implore all of you, get educated, get information, contact people that have it. They'll be more than happy to help you. I know you've got people all over the state that know plenty. You can contact me if you want to. I'm sure Randy Miller would help you and others would help you. We know what these people have done, and we probably have figured out what they think they're going to do. Our republic at state level and federal level is at risk. You have a right to vote, a constitutional right to vote. You have a moral responsibility to be an informed voter. Our founders told us that. An informed electorate. Educate yourself on issues and candidates. And don't support somebody that's voted against you. If they'll turn on you once, if they lie to you once, and lying to you is when you ask them certain questions and they evade how they answer. That's a lie. When you know to tell the truth and you don't tell it, you're a liar. Or as the Bible says, you're a sinner. So either way, don't trust these people. I want to thank you for taking the time to view this. I hope it hasn't gone on too long for you. I'm trying to get these things shorter. Sometimes you just get carried away with it. But once again, yes, I am running for county recorder in Maricopa County. That's Claire Van Steenwyk. I'm on the ballot. Vote for Claire Van Steenwyk for county recorder. And while you're at it, for Arizona Corporation Commission, write in Jim O'Connor. There are 3 seats and only 2 Republicans on the ticket, so you're not going to hurt the 2 that are there. Just write in Jim O'Connor, would you please? Once again, I want to thank you for taking the time to view this. God bless you. Have a great day, and look forward to my next show on the election fraud that's been put up on us by our own government here in Arizona. God bless you. Have a good day. Bye.